reason to laugh at. Hey! Hello. Sorry I'm late. I had to pick up some balloons and Bob's was out of helium. So then I had to find Chumi the clown, who lives 2 streets up from here. He's on the same street as my friend Bonnie's parents. You know those fancy muse places? Yeah, proper posh. First time I visited, there was this carpet in the hallway that looked like loofah. And I took my shoes off, because you do that, don't you, when you go to someone's home. And I'd only got sandals on, no socks. So the loofah carpet was well rough to stand on. But I considered it a bit of a free exfoliation. Their cleaner, Ruska, she always smells of Law Spring fresh, is from Latvia, and she taught me how to say hello, please, and thank you. Sveks, Ludzu, Paldies, which is totally different to Estonian, which surprised me because they're right next door to each other. But Rasmus, the binman, is Estonian, and he didn't have a clue what I was saying. I'm Olive, by the way, like the garnish. Now, some people don't like olives. Me, I love them. Those big fat green ones especially. Gordal they're called. I tried them from that fancy deli up by the tube, giving out free samples they were. Asher got a job there right out of Feltham, some reintegration scheme. And he called me over, at least I think he was calling me over, because he was shouting, "Olives! Olives!" So I went over and he looked so much better. Really suited his fancy apron, and I tried one of the olives and then I tried another. And in the end, he gave me the little pot because I was clearly addicted. And now I call them Gordon olives. And can you imagine if I married someone called Gordon? Ash is assistant manager now, and with a baby on the way for him and Shana. And I can't wait to meet him. Oops, I let the cat out of the bag. It's supposed to be a surprise. Oh my God, I'm such a blurt. Listen, if you see Ash and Shana, please keep stum. I'm angling for a godparent nod. I mean, I'm responsible and trustworthy and love glitter and know all the cut-throughs around here. I've got my own place, and to be honest with you, what kid doesn't want to learn how to climb trees? And I've got the best 2 trees in the whole of London, right outside my front door. Sometimes I just sit at my window and look at them and think about whether trees can remember where they're from. Those 2 trees have been here nearly as long as I have. Part of the original farmland, I reckon, when all this was fields. I used to think they grew those big mushrooms here on account of the name, but it turns out some fancy admiral captured a town called Portobello in Panama ages ago. That admiral's got a street named after him too, Vernon Yard. It's not a yard though, more a little road with £1 million houses painted in pretty pastel colours now. Just like those cupcakes from the bakery nearby. So delicate, they look like they'd explode if you touch the icing. But I prefer egg custards, to be honest with you. From Lisboa's? I asked the owner the other day the difference between obrigada and obrigado. And he said, one is a lady and one is a gentleman. And I wanted to know why they needed to be different, because we just say thank you and it covers all bases. He just pointed to my smile and said, well, chica, that's enough for me. It's funny, isn't it? How all this land started out as a farm, named after a town in a country where English and Spanish admirals fought about something as ugly and wrong as the right to sell other people. Except, it's not funny. And I think about that when I look at my trees and I tell them that their branches matter, that the knots in their trunks do not bind them, that their roots go all the way home, whether that's a single plot or 100 different places. Because we're not and never will be only ever one thing. Like me. I'm actually 148 years old. Honest to God, I just keep going and my skin won't quit. I swear it's the smiles. Miles and smiles and miles and smiles. And where Portobello Farm was is now the St Charles Hospital. Isn't that something? Imagine. Nothing but crops, and now it's a centre for health and well-being. Which is what I tell Mrs Stedman when I take her to see Mr Stedman in palliative care. Twice a week I walk her up there. Sometimes I sit with them, but mainly I leave them alone because they like to talk about their grandson, Josiah. Mr Stedman tells me I should meet him because we'd make a lovely couple. I smile as much as I can each time he says this, and I really wish I could have met Josiah, but I hate to see Mrs Stedman cry. So it's best if I wait in the hallway because even I know there's some things that can't be made any less devastating on the heart. So it's best to just let them be. Always be a shoulder or an ear. When you can't be anything else, be those things. About ready for a cuppa I am, and a Vicky. I like those coconut crumbles. I mean, I say like, actually, I love them. Oh my God. I get a bit of staff discount at work, so I might eat a few too many. First dibs on the markdowns too, although I won't ever touch those chia seed puddings again because they look like snot and taste like armpits. But even though it tasted disgusting, at least I tried something new. Yeah, but honestly, don't ever buy them. They are rank. Eat a dark chocolate Kit Kat and live a little. I reckon it all depends on how you see things. Like, stuff can look so different depending on where the light's coming from or where you're sitting. Take this, for example. On the top deck of the number 52, coming home from visiting the Lady A. She's a real life lady, by the way. More Notting Hill really, but her heart goes all the way up the road. So I popped by yesterday to give her the gen about the new art on Portobello Wall. Showed her some pics. She can't get about much nowadays on account of her legs and the pacemaker, but she loves to keep up to speed with all that's going on. And I was headed back home after, and my mind's on paintings and magic. And you know how it is, you're staring into space, and without realising it, you've been eyeballing the poor dink opposite, and boom! Now they think you're A, in love with them, B, want to kill them, and you know what? Sometimes it's C, a bit of both, because love's like that, isn't it? I mean, I watch my folks go from A to B. They never made it to C, but I live in hope because I believe in compromise. And you know what? Maybe one of yous could be my ABC because we're all looking to be completed, aren't we? Like the alphabet, I guess. And then the bus jolted and I bumped my head on the window, which made me look, and I see this row of women stood on the pavement below. There's an elderly lady and her hair's like a halo of blue candy floss. And two other ladies in their hijabs with the most perfect eyebrows. And a woman wearing dungarees with a little baby in her arms. And they're all laughing like drains. Like, I can see tears. They're laughing so much. And there's this teenage girl bouncing in her Nike Jordans, telling them whatever story is making them laugh so much. And the smiles. Oh, the smiles on their faces are enough to last me forever. And then the bus juddered on into another day, another day, another day. And you know what? I've lived so long with this road running through me, I skip to its beat now. Listen to me. Birds tweet, skies open, noise and dirt and over pollution. Ash falling, heavens breaking, parties starting and fights ending. Blood spilling in cheap goods. Tourists and locals getting in the way from penny market right down to the sun in splendour. Walking it in 25 minutes on a bad day with nobody on the way to stop and natter with. Or the tourists are off elsewhere and no wheelie bins stuck round. No flobby dogs to pet or Stevie the Queen still in bed, so no glitter to get stuck on cheeks. Or if the weather's fine, because then there's no umbrellas making a canopy over my head. And because I'm small I can dodge and weave, but there's still enough life left to keep me busy for at least another 15. So that's a good day. A good route when all's around and about and the road heaves with every little bit of life. Even the dirt on the floor looks pretty. And I'm 40 minutes in and full of this road, this place, this home that runs through me like a vein. Taking the way I want and pockets of air, giving me time to breathe and beat and hum and run, and I want it to go on forever sometimes, like the nights in summer, when my trees are full of leaves and they dapple the square, and I make a date with Stevie to go to Ducky at RVT, where I know they'll lose their wig at 4 a.m. and forget me. But it's okay, because there's a good chance I'll get kissed by someone made entirely of glitter. And even if Stevie does insist on singing Don't Cry For Me Argentina when we get chips, but because Mariano at George's Fish Bar is from Buenos Aires and shows us tango moves, and there's always sparkle in my chips and on my lips, and even the teenage rude boys stop sucking their teeth and join in as we sing Don't Cry For Me Argentina. The truth is I never left you all through my wild days, my mad existence, because some songs are in your DNA when you're born, aren't they? And it is a mad existence, but it's the only one we've got, and it's more than enough. Because I know time is precious, I do, especially around here. But the thing is, Clocks and watches and the sun and its shadows, all they do is slow us down, like closing dates and deadlines. We're always on a countdown. Even here, when time's mine to do what magic I want with it. Listen, don't let anybody tell you there isn't time. That there isn't time to stop by that person's house, or to listen to one more song, or to tidy up after yourself, or to vote, or to go back and check on that girl who might be stumbling, to wait for the next bus, or to smile. And that's the one that always gets me. Time to smile. Smile. Go on. Feel it on your face. I'm smiling right now. Right now. And I won't ever apologise for being this happy or seeing the world right in front of my face and feeling glad. Because I've got enough. And that feels right. Smile. You look gorgeous when you do. Yep. Gorgeous. But oi, this street doesn't live on air, and I've got a shift in 12 and some more errands to run and faces to meet, and even though I'm 148, I still need my sleep. But listen, and if you don't mind, just before you go, there's one thing I'm going to ask of you. Just one tiny pocket-sized petite subatomic wee teensy bijou micro mini thing. And that's when you go on your way. If it's down this street or any street, wherever you're from, take a single second and smile. Smile at someone who catches your eye. Smile at them, beam that smile right into their soul. Cross all the divides, the barriers, the differences, the troubles, the miles, the airwaves, the oceans, the shut doors, the closed windows, the almost gones. And smile. Just once. Once a day. Don't look for who it will be or plan ahead for when you're going to do it. Don't think, nah. Don't wait. Don't wait. Please, please don't wait. Smile. Be kind. It's enough.